Alright, so this superpower skill is by far the most valuable thing you can have in Claude Code right now. If you don't have this in any of your workflows, or if you don't use this while you're using Claude Code, then you're going to receive low quality outputs, and that is just a fact. Now in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get this skill and when to actually use this skill. So firstly, let's explain what this skill actually is. And I'm going into this with the assumption that you already kind of know what a skill is in Claude Code at this point. Now this specific skill, superpowers, for Claude Code is to help you with the entire development process. Now like always, obviously you don't need to know how to code. Claude Code is going to do that for you. And you're probably wondering, alright, if Claude Code is going to do the coding, then what does superpowers actually do to help me with development? Well, superpower takes Claude Code and the power of Claude Code, and it applies senior developer thought flows. So Claude Code now acts not like a junior developer that just goes and tries to code everything. It now plans, it now discovers your project, and ultimately gives you a better output. Now this skill, you can download it by just using this. I'll leave all of this down below so you can download it really quickly. I'll leave it in the second link below. But we get that from this GitHub repository over here. So this is really the skill. And it's extremely easy if you want to bring it over to Claude Code. You just copy this. We jump over here to our Claude Code setup, and we can literally just paste it in here and say download this skill. Now, what does this skill actually do? Well, the first thing we have in this skill, well, we have something called brainstorming. And what this does is, as we all know, when we type to Claude Code, if I say, hey, Claude Code, go and build me an app that is going to be a note taker, it's just going to start coding and give you what it thinks you need. When we put this superpower skill into Claude Code, it's now not just going to jump into it, it's going to plan it out first. So you can see here, it turns a vague idea into a fully formed spec through collaborative dialogue. Claude asks questions one at a time, builds up context, presents the design, and waits for your approval before any code is written. Before any creative work, feature, component, or functionality change, it's going to use the Claude brainstorming skill. Or if you want to manually trigger it, then you can type in this, and you can just do /brainstorming. The hard rule is to not write any code until this has been approved. Now that might be a bit of a word mess to you, but I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So let's say we're over here in Claude Code. You can see we have two different Claude Codes set up here, and they're both completely fresh projects. So what I would do firstly, if I didn't have it downloaded, is I would just give Claude Code this right here and say download this skill, and then Claude Code would go ahead and do that. Now on the left side, I'm going to ask Claude Code to build a project, except this side, on the left side, we're going to use the brainstorming skill. On the right side, I'm going to tell it not to use the brainstorming skill. So let's give it the exact same prompt. All right, I want to build a note-taking app that has calendar integration. So what it should do is take notes from me, and I should have a calendar view so I can see when I actually wrote down that note. I should also be able to, somewhere in the app, put a task, so I can have maybe a task manager or something like that. So in some way, like a note taker and a task manager and a collaborative calendar view also. All right, so you can see right there, that is an extremely vague description, and I don't really know what I want myself. But let's say I put that in here. So we have that one over here. I'm going to copy that and bring it over here so it's the exact same, except on the right side over here, I'm going to say do not use any skill. Now on the left side, because I didn't specify not to use any skill, it's going to automatically use the brainstorming skill because we've downloaded it into this Claude Code instance or repo, whatever you want to call it. And it's now going to automatically trigger because it knows that we are now building something new or we are brainstorming. If it didn't trigger it, then I could manually trigger it over here by typing / and then brainstorm. And you can see now superpowers brainstorm skill, where I could press that and I could send this off, and it would manually force it to trigger the brainstorming skill. Now let's jump out here. Let's send this message off. Let's also send this message off over here, and we should see two different types of outputs. All right, so we send both of them off. On the left side, you can see instantly it's using that superpowers brainstorming skill. On the right hand side, it jumps straight into it. It says, here's what I'm planning to build: a React TypeScript app with 3 core systems: notes, tasks, and calendar. It gives us the tech stack and the layout. So you can see right away on this right hand side, it's jumping into the code. It really doesn't know what we actually want to build. On the left hand side, you can see it gives us this. So it says this is a fresh project, no existing code. Since this involves a UI layout design, note, editor, calendar view, etc., some questions will be much more clearer with visuals. Right? Basically, can it show us what I want to build in like a UI way? I'm going to say yes. But you can see right now, this on the right hand side with no skill has just jumped straight into the code with really little to no planning whatsoever. On the left hand side, it is now spinning up a server so we can see the UI, which again, when you're using Claude Code, it's extremely important to see the UI before it actually builds a product, because how many times have you built something, looks good in the text, and then when it finishes, the UI is completely off? This is going to stop that from happening by showing us the actual UI before it commits anything. All right, so you can see now, because we're using the brainstorming skill, it's going to ask us some clarifying questions. It says we can open this in our browser if we want to see any of the UI that's building. And it says you'll see 3 layout options in the app. Click to select the one that feels right. So I'm going to click here and it's going to show us the layout that it's proposing. So you can see here, we have this layout here where we have a sidebar and the actual content in the right hand side. We have up here where we have the top bar, like a top view of it, and then over here we have a 3-panel view. For me, I like the sidebar navigation, so I'm going to click that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say I like option A, which is the sidebar navigation. I don't like the dark, so maybe make it a lighter theme or a bright theme, kind of like a Notion style dashboard. Again, we can still see on the right hand side really hasn't asked us for anything, just what we initially put in, and it's gone ahead and started to build out that code for us. On the left hand side, although it's going to be slower, it is asking us exactly what we want to build before it jumps into doing all of the code. So the output from the left hand side should be much more higher quality. Now it says check that URL again. You'll see 3 ocean style color themes, all using sidebar layout you picked. Click the one that clicks for you and let me know here. So we can go back over here to this URL and you can see we have the ocean style UI. Let's just say this deep ocean style is what I like. Option A is what I like. Send that off. And then it asks us some more questions like how do we want it to look, what text we want. Let's say A. And it's going to go on and ask us questions before it actually proposes any idea. Okay, so you can see now after a couple of questions from the brainstorming skill, this side gives us 3 approaches in which it can take. It always gives you a recommended approach. And on the right side with no skill, it's actually done. It's completely finished the app. This side hasn't even really started. Right now it's just planning. So for us, we're going to say option A or option 1 is fine. On this side, we can view the actual dashboard. Let's jump over here. Brings us to a blank white page. So it hasn't even really worked. And that kind of shows you or tells you everything you need to know. Let's jump back over here and tell it I can't see anything. Okay, so while these work away, the left side again is going to continue to ask more questions on how things should look and how things should go. Before we continue with the skill side on the left over here, we need to look at more things it has because it's now going to invoke more skills that SUPERPOWERS has. So if we jump back over here to our layout, you can see we've just used the brainstorming skill. While it's finished that brainstorming, so it's done asking us the questions, it's going to go into the planning phase in which it uses a writing plan skill. This writes a comprehensive file level implementation plan, assuming the engineer has zero context on the code base and questionable taste. Covers which files to touch, code hints, test driven development is what TDD stands for, and commit checkpoints gives it in a bite-sized task way. So what this does is it plans out the entire app in a way that if anybody was to look at this, they would know exactly what to build, and it's going to give that to Claude so it knows exactly what we want to build based on the brainstorming questions that we've just answered. So this is going to trigger after the spec approval before touching any code, and we're going to see that trigger now as we go over here and finish out with the brainstorming process. So we're going to say yes, that section 2 looks correct. Gives us some questions on does this styling and UI details look good. We're going to say yes. Okay, so you can see right now it gives us a spec review, or basically everything that this app is going to have. If we open this, we're going to see the overview. So this is a personal productivity web app. Gives us the architecture, basically everything of the specs or the questions that we've just answered. We're going to say yeah, looks good. And now that we've said yes, everything looks good, we've answered all of the questions, you can now see it's right. It's using that SUPERPOWERS writing plan skill without us really having to tell it or do anything. Now, as it uses that writing plan skill, let's go on to the next skill that SUPERPOWERS has, which it's going to use after it finishes using this skill. So if we jump over here, you can see we now have the build phase. So right now it's writing the plan before we go into building. And over here, we have a couple of different build phases. So firstly, it's going to use the execution plan. So it's going to take the plan, it's going to make sure that we like it. And then when we say yes, it's going to trigger the executing plan. And this loads the written plan. So what we've just done, and it reviews it critically. Then it executes all tasks in order of the review checkpoint between each. It falls back to sequential execution when sub-agents aren't available. So that's what's going to happen after we have using the written plan. We have test-driven development as well, which is kind of after we've built out the initial phase. So it's where it writes the failing test first. It watches the actual what we've done fail. So the code that we've made, the app that we've made, it's going to make it fail, and then it's going to write the minimal code to make it pass. No exceptions. If you don't watch the test fail, you don't know it actually tests the right thing. We have sub agent and parallel agents, and that's going to come up after we use the execution plans, and that's basically which way do you want me to begin this code. So the writing plan is basically saying here is what we want to build today. The execution plan is going to map out everything on how we're going to do it, and then these are what we're going to have to choose between in order to actually put the code onto paper, put the code actually into our repo. Now don't worry if none of that makes sense, you're going to see it over here whenever this finishes up. So you can see right now it's still using the writing plan skill, whereas on the right hand side it has been finished all of this time. We're also going to compare what both of the apps look like. So if we jump over here now to the one that is already finished, you can see it's just your typical AI looking app. Even this does not look good at all. We can add a new note here, give it a title. It's not the worst, but it could look better. Let's say test note. I am showing people how to use the superpowers skill, and you can see we can use a new note and we can create new notes. We have tasks over here, which is really simple. Let's say record video. Descriptions, if you want, we can add in a date. Let's say tomorrow, priority high, add it as a task. We now have that task here, and then we can see the calendar over here where we have the two notes when they were created, and we have the task which is for tomorrow. It's actually not a terrible build. We could use some work on the UI, but you can see if it doesn't really ask us what we want, we get a very, very basic output, and Claude kind of decides what it wants to build. All right, so like I've mentioned previously, it has just done with that skill. So it has used this, so it's used the actual writing implementation skill. The writing implementation plan is a detailed doc with exact file paths, code snippets, and step-by-step tasks for every component. Nearly done. It's writing it now. And then we come down here, it goes over a self-review spec. So it writes a plan and then self-reviews itself. And then down here you can see it gives us the entire plan as a complete saved file. So if we click in here, we have this entire lengthy plan, which is upwards of 1,500 lines of what looks like explanations and code snippets. And now all we need to do is, as you can see down here, we need to choose between two of these execution options. We have the sub agent and the inline execution, which is what I just showed you over here, where you have sub agent and then dispatch parallel agent, which is like a linear flow, so just one task after the other. The sub agent is like where it works on each task independently. Now the test driven development is not something that's really used too much. You'll most likely just go from brainstorming to the writing plans, and then you will use the execution plan, which we've just used, and then it will ask you which one of these do you want to go with. If we jump over here, you can see it gives us a recommendation. It says sub agent, the two execution types is sub agent or inline, and it recommends sub agent. So let's just go with just go with sub agent, and you can see there's 9 tasks with 40 steps total, and there is all of these tasks that we can see here. So we say just go with sub agent, we hit this in here, it's going to begin the development now with sub agents for each of these tasks. So you can see now SUPERPOWERS sub agent driven development skill has been initiated and the development is underway. All right, so now SUPERPOWERS side has finished. You can see right here it's gone through each of these tasks one by one with each separate sub agent. You can see just how long and detailed this one is. If we come down here, we can have a look at what this one looks like. So it says to run this, we need to do this. We need to copy this and run this in our terminal. So we're going to copy that, pull this up from the bottom, and we can just paste that in here, press enter. And you can see now it gives us this localhost 3000. So we can click this and we can come over here and have a look at what this one looks like. So we have tasks. We have tasks over here. We have calendar over here. And you can see the calendar, just off the calendar alone, it's a lot neater. So you can see over here, this is our first calendar. And on this side, here's the calendar that we actually have. We have select today. We can click here. We can go to next month. If we were to click in here, you can see, tells us nothing on this day. Let's come up here and add a new note. So let's add this. You can see, let's call this test note. Test note, come down here. This is a test note. We can use a list view, so you can see up here we have a list view, so we can say hi there, bunch of different stuff. So we have list view, we have bullet point view, list view, we have H1, H2. We can make these bold, so you can just see how much detail goes into this version compared to the other version. We also can come down here and select a task as well. So let's create a new task. Maybe let's say record video. We can create a task. We can also say buy car. Jump in here. We can select the date. We have 2 new tasks right here. We come over to calendar view. You can now see we have the buy car, which is here, record video, which is over here, and we can mark these as done. Let's say record video, mark that as done. Come back over here to calendar, and you can see now record video is done. So although they look somewhat similar, the level of detail that has gone into this one is a lot better. It's undeniably better than Claude Code, what it has initially done. If we jump over here, you can see the difference. We jump in here, that's what the calendar looks like. We can jump over here to the task section, and I actually think this task section is actually probably a bit better. And then we have the notes section over here, which you can see there's not much we can do here. There's no formatting that we can do. They're both similar designs, but when we get into deeper projects that have a lot of coding and it's not as simple as just a note taken or a task taken app, then the Superpower excels even further the more complex the project gets. And we can jump over here and look at other stuff. So let's say something bad was to happen, or something over here is broken, maybe I'm not able to type. Then we have this thing right here, which is systemic bugging, and this forces root cause analysis before any fix is attempted. Random guesses waste time and create new bugs. Trace the actual failure path, form a hypothesis and verifies it, then fixes the real cause. So again, over here, if there was an issue on this side, we could just do systemic, type / and then systemic. You can see we have this systemic debugging tool, or we could just explain that, hey, the page is not working, and it's going to automatically trigger this systemic debugging. If something is broken over here without the skill, then it's just going to go in and start changing code without really knowing what the issue is, or without really getting to the root cause, and sometimes that just brings more issues. Some other stuff we have over here is verification before completion. This is before claiming work is done, actually run the verification commands and confirm the output. No assertions without evidence. Claiming completion without verification is dishonesty, not efficiency. So this is stuff that it will do in the background to make sure your outputs are up to date or up to standard. We also have requesting code review or receiving code review. The requesting code review over here dispatches a fresh review or sub-agent with precisely crafted context, never the main session's history. The reviewer sees only the work product, not your thought process. Review early and review often. So this skill is meant to look at your code and see, is this the actual correct code? Now, when you are over here, when you're doing coding, or when you're having a Claude write code for you, we could just say to it, hey, make sure the code you have written is efficient and is good code. If we say that to Claude Code, it's very bad at criticizing its own code. So most of the time, it's going to look at all of the conversation that we had. It's going to look at what it has actually done, and it's going to say, yeah, it's good code. When we look at this request code review, it's now going to be completely independent. It's not going to take in any of the context of our code in session, and it's going to go and look at the code to make sure it's actually correct code. So in this version with Superpowers, it's going to do it independently and really make sure that the code is efficient and is written in the right manner, or is architected correctly. If we don't do it with the Superpower skill, then it's just going to say yes nearly every time unless it finds a major flaw. So that's the requesting code review. The receiving code review handles the incoming review feedback structurally, categorizes comments, addresses each one. So these kind of both work in parallel, where this one finds the issues and this one basically writes the review back to you. And then we have finishing a development branch and using Git work trees, which is what you would do if you were publishing this to GitHub, or if you were actually in a real live deployed project, which we won't get into in this video. These are more advanced features. But you've seen in this video the comparisons of Superpower skill versus normal Claude Code. Hopefully you like that video. If you want to learn how to start your own AI agency, click the first link below. If you want any of my free resources, click the second link below. And if you're a business that wants to implement AI, then shoot me an email and we will be sure to get back to you.